75, Ric Flair's life is a far cry from the glory days of the ring. The man once known for his lavish lifestyle, overflowing charisma, and unmatched success now faces a painful reality marked by bankruptcy, ongoing legal troubles, and bitter fallouts with those he once called friends. So let's dive in and see what really went wrong. In 2008, Ric Flair shocked fans and the wrestling world when he filed for bankruptcy. Despite a career that earned him millions, Flair's extravagant lifestyle, combined with mounting medical bills and some bad financial decisions, left him drowning in debt. Reports suggested that Ric Flair owed creditors more than $2 million at the time of his bankruptcy filing. The lavish lifestyle he embraced during his prime years, including a collection of luxury cars, tailored expensive suits, and an endless schedule of parties and appearances, proved to be completely unsustainable in the long run. Flair himself later admitted that he had not managed his finances wisely and often lived beyond his means. Medical expenses also played a significant role in his financial downfall. Decades of wrestling took a serious toll on his body, resulting in numerous surgeries, hospital stays, and ongoing treatments that rapidly drained his savings. Flair's bankruptcy served as a harsh and sobering reminder that even the most celebrated and successful stars, with all their fame and fortune, are still vulnerable to financial ruin when money isn't managed carefully. Legal issues further complicated Flair's life during this period. Beyond bankruptcy, he found himself entangled in lawsuits involving contractual disputes with wrestling organizations and personal legal battles. Perhaps most notably, Flair's on-again, off-again relationship with his ex-wife, Elizabeth, became public fodder when it spilled over into courtrooms. The two were married and divorced multiple times, and their battles included disagreements over finances, custody, and other personal matters. These legal disputes, combined with Flair's health problems, painted a picture of a man whose life was far from the glamorous image many fans saw on TV. Adding to his struggles, Flair was no stranger to professional feuds, both in and out of the ring. Some of these feuds were legendary parts of wrestling history, while others revealed tensions behind the scenes. His rivalry with Hulk Hogan, for example, was one of the most significant of his career. While the two legends shared mutual respect, their relationship was often strained by professional jealousy and backstage politics. Hogan was the face of wrestling in the 1980s, and Flair was the king of the rival National Wrestling Alliance. Their differing styles and personalities led to tension, though they did come together for several matches that wrestling fans still remember fondly.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan. I think he thought he was going to catch Hogan by surprise there, but it just didn't work.
Another well-known feud was with Shawn Michaels, which combined their talents in some classic bouts, but also had moments of real-life tension. Michaels, known for his flamboyance and athleticism, was often compared to Flair, and the two had a complicated relationship that blended professional rivalry and personal disagreements. Flair also had famous rivalries with Ricky Steamboat and Sting, both legendary wrestlers who pushed him to some of his greatest performances. These feuds weren't just about competition. They often involved emotional storytelling, Flair playing both the villain and, at times, the hero. While these conflicts marked parts of his personal and professional life, Ric Flair's wrestling career remains the true highlight of his story. Flair's career spanned more than 40 years, beginning in 1972. He quickly made a name for himself as a charismatic performer with an unmatched ability to captivate an audience. His wrestling style was a blend of technical skill, psychological storytelling, and larger-than-life theatrics.
Unbelievable. One of the most fit guys that I ever worked with. Again, there's not very many guys that could blow up Bret Hart, but maybe Ric Flair could have.
He was known for his figure-4 leg lock, a submission move that became his signature, and his flair for dramatic entrances, wearing extravagant robes and carrying himself with unmatched confidence. Flair's records are staggering. He is officially recognized as a 16-time world heavyweight champion, holding titles across several major wrestling promotions, including the NWA, World Championship Wrestling, and World Wrestling Entertainment. This record tied him with WWE legend John Cena and stood as one of the highest in professional wrestling history. Flair was the centerpiece of the NWA and WCW for years, helping to define the look and feel of wrestling during the 1980s and 1990s. His battles against stars like Dusty Rhodes, Sting, and Vader are some of the most iconic moments in wrestling history. During the late 1980s and 1990s, Flair's career flourished in WCW, where he was both a dominant champion and a skilled manager. He led the famous Four Horsemen stable, one of wrestling's most influential factions. The Four Horsemen, which included greats like Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson, and Tully Blanchard, revolutionized the concept of wrestling groups and played a huge role in WCW storylines. Flair's role as their leader only added to his legendary status. He combined his in-ring ability with a powerful presence on the microphone, cutting promos that were often as memorable as his matches. In 1991, Flair made a high-profile jump to the WWE. Though his time there had ups and downs, it included memorable matches and feuds with stars like Randy Savage, Mr. Perfect, and Bret Hart. One of the most famous moments of Flair's WWE run was his match against Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24, which was billed as a retirement match. Although Flair lost, the match was a passing of the torch, symbolizing his transition from active wrestler to a mentor and elder statesman of the industry. Flair's influence extended beyond just wrestling matches. His charisma and style made him a pop culture icon. The woo chant became a staple at wrestling events, and his catchphrases like, "To be the man, you gotta beat the man," are etched into wrestling lore. His signature robes, often sequined and extravagant, became synonymous with his persona and added to his mystique. Flair was a master at connecting with fans, whether as a beloved hero or despised villain. Despite his success, Flair's career was not without its struggles. The physical demands of wrestling took a heavy toll. Over the years, Flair suffered multiple injuries, including knee and back problems that required surgeries. His health declined significantly in his later years, culminating in a major heart attack in 2017 that nearly ended his life. He spent weeks in the hospital fighting for survival and faced a long road to recovery. This health scare was a wake-up call for Flair and his fans, reminding everyone that even legends are not invincible. After recovering, Flair gradually stepped away from regular wrestling, but remained involved in the industry. He made occasional appearances in WWE, often in a mentor role or as a part of special storylines. Flair also focused on his family, particularly his daughters who pursued wrestling careers themselves. Charlotte Flair, in particular, has become one of WWE's top stars, carrying on her father's legacy in the ring. Despite the hardships, Flair's story is one of resilience. Even after financial troubles, legal battles, health scares, and personal struggles, he remains a respected and beloved figure in wrestling. His influence on the sport is immeasurable. He helped transform professional wrestling into the spectacle it is today. Flair's storytelling ability, charisma, and in-ring skill set a standard that many wrestlers still strive to reach. At 75 years old, Ric Flair's life is a mix of triumph and heartbreak. The legendary wrestler who once held the world in the palm of his hand now faces the realities of aging and the consequences of a hard-lived life. His health is fragile, his finances strained, and his personal relationships complicated. Yet through it all, Flair's spirit shines through, the same fighting spirit that made him a champion time and time again. That wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more great content coming your way. We'd also love to hear your thoughts, so don't forget to leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again very soon.